Hi, I'm Michael. Welcome to Travel Plan. On today's episode, we'll be visiting Trevi Fountain. I'm here at Piazza Navona, a beautiful square in the center of Rome. And because it's in the center of Rome, it's the best place to start our walk. If all you want to see is the Trevi Fountain, it's a 15-minute walk from here. However, since we're in Rome, we should see more sites. And I've organized a route that includes another 5 sites before we get to the Trevi Fountain. They include the Museo di Roma, the Piazza di Sant'Ignazio, the Galleria Doria Pamphilj, the Church of San Marcello al Corso, and then the Trevi Fountain to end it all. So let's start our walk. First stop, Museo di Roma. It's at the south end of the Piazza Navona. It's about 2 minutes from here, so let's get going. From Piazza Navona, head south to enter the Museo di Roma. I'm here at Museo di Roma. So this museum was established in the 1930s and moved to this Palazzo Braschi in the 1950s. So the palazzo was commissioned by Pope Pius VI for his nephew, Luigi Braschi Onesti, and completed in the 19th century. The museum's collection includes paintings, prints, photographs, ceramics, and costumes, offering a snapshot of Roman life in the Middle Ages through the 19th century. It focuses on daily life, traditions, and urban change from market scenes and festivals to the transformation of neighborhoods and architecture. Among its most fascinating pieces are 18th and 19th century paintings showing Rome before modern traffic and tourism, when oxen still pulled carts through Piazza Navona. The museum's windows and balconies overlook Piazza Navona, giving visitors one of the most beautiful and quiet perspectives of the square. Several rooms still preserve original neoclassical frescoes, chandeliers, and stucco from the Braschi family's residence. The museum is especially useful for people who want to understand how modern Rome evolved, especially after the unification of Italy in the 19th century. I hope you enjoyed Museo di Roma. Our next stop is Piazza Sant'Ignazio. Let's get going. As we exit Museo di Roma, head south to Corso Vittorio Emanuele. Turn left and continue along Corso Vittorio Emanuele. On Via del Corso, make a left. On Via de Caravita, make a left, and this will lead to Sant'Ignazio. I'm here at Piazza Sant'Ignazio. So this small yet elegant square is surrounded by curved Baroque facades, meant to look like a theatrical background. This square was laid out in the 18th century to frame that church behind me. So that church is the Church of St. Ignatius de Loyola. It was built in the 1600s for the Jesuit order and dedicated to their founder, St. Ignatius of Loyola. The church was designed by Jesuit architect Orazio Grassi, a mathematician who famously debated Galileo. The most famous feature is the frescoed ceiling by Andrea Pozzo, completed in 1685, which creates a stunning illusion of a dome vault opening into the heavens. Pozzo used extreme perspective tricks, quadratura, to paint a false dome and sky that looks three-dimensional from the center of the nave. The fresco shows St. Ignatius ascending into paradise, surrounded by allegories of the 4 continents, representing the Jesuit mission to spread Christianity worldwide. The church originally planned to build a real dome, but funding ran out, so Pozzo created one with paint instead. There's a marble disc in the center of the nave, marking the best viewpoint for the illusion. Step to the side and the ceiling flattens. Many visitors miss the small mirror in the nave, which allows you to look at the ceiling without craning your neck. Perfect for photos. The combination of architectural illusion and spiritual symbolism makes this one of Rome's most powerful examples of Baroque theater meets faith. I hope you enjoyed the beautiful Church of St. Ignatius. Our next stop is Galleria Doria Pamphilj. It's about 5 minutes from here. As you exit Chiesa de Sant'Ignazio, make a right and continue down Via del Caravita. On Via del Corso, make a right towards Galleria Doria Pamphilj. I'm here at Galleria Doria Pamphilj. This is a 17th century private palace still owned by the princely Doria Pamphilj family, who are actually descendants of Pope Innocent X. The gallery is arranged along a series of long mirrored corridors filled with paintings, tapestries, chandeliers, and antique furniture like a palace frozen in time. Its collection includes masterpieces by Caravaggio, Titian, Velázquez, and Raphael, still hung in their original gilded frames. The most famous painting is Diego Velázquez's portrait of Pope Innocent X, considered one of the greatest portraits ever painted. So powerful that even the Pope himself reportedly said, "È troppo vero," it's too true. The gallery is home to Caravaggio's Rest on the Flight into Egypt, one of his earlier works. The Palace Chapel and Ballroom still hosts events and concerts, preserving the building's role as a living residence and cultural venue. Just outside the entrance, along Via Lata, stands Il Falchino, the porter, one of Rome's 6 talking statues. Il Falchino depicts a man carrying a barrel, likely a 16th century water vendor, honoring the city's aqueduct workers who delivered water door to door. Over time, locals began posting anonymous criticisms and satirical poems on the statue's base. Together, the palace and statue tell two sides of Rome, the refined grandeur of aristocratic life inside and the gritty voice of the people carved into the street outside. I hope you enjoyed Galleria Doria Pamphilj. Our next stop is the Church of San Marcello al Corso. It's just across the street, about a minute or two. Let's go. As you exit Galleria Doria Pamphilj, make a left on Via del Corso, and San Marcello al Corso will be across the street on your right-hand side. I'm here in front of the Church of San Marcello al Corso. It's one of the oldest churches on the Via del Corso. The original church was built in the 4th century on the site believed to be where Pope Marcellus I was imprisoned and forced into labor for clashing with Emperor Maxentius. That church burned down, and this one was rebuilt in the 16th century. The richly decorated Baroque facade was completed in 1692 by architect Carlo Fontana, blending drama and harmony. Inside, you'll find a wooden crucifix believed by many Romans to be miraculous. During the plague of 1522, the crucifix was carried in a procession across the city, a 16-day trek that was credited with ending the epidemic. Since then, the crucifix has become an object of veneration, and it was even displayed in St. Peter's Square during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. The church's interior also features frescoes and chapels by artists like Pietro da Cortana, Peruzzi, and Jacopo Sansovino. The square itself is quiet and almost hidden, making it a peaceful detour from the crowds just blocks away. The church is a powerful example of how faith and art have carried Rome through its darkest chapters, from plague to fire to modern crisis. I hope you enjoyed the beautiful interior of the Church of San Marcello al Corso. Our next stop, Trevi Fountain. It's just 5 minutes from here. As you exit San Marcello al Corso, make a right. On Via delle Murate, make a right, and this will lead to Trevi Fountain. I'm standing here at the Trevi Fountain. So the Trevi Fountain was completed in 1762. It was designed by Nicola Salvi and it was finished by Giuseppe Panini. The fountain was commissioned by Pope Clement XII to mark the terminus of an ancient aqueduct, but also to provide a theatrical display worthy of Rome's grandeur. So the fountain is the largest Baroque fountain in all of Rome. It measures at about 26 meters high and 50 meters wide. The fountain marks the end of the Aqua Virgo aqueduct, which dates back to 19 BC and still supplies the water today. The aqueduct was said to be discovered by a young girl, Virgo, who led thirsty soldiers to its spring, giving the aqueduct its name. So the figure you see in the center is Oceanus. It's not Neptune. He is the personification of the sea. He's standing in a shell-shaped chariot, pulled by seahorses and tridents. Oceanus represents the endless primal power of water, not just the sea. He stands between order and chaos, flanked by symbols of nature's flow. One horse is wild, the other calm, symbolizing the dual moods of the sea. The two statues represent abundance on the left and celebrity on the right, reflecting the life-giving powers of water. So tradition holds, if you throw a coin in the fountain over your left shoulder with your right hand, you'll return to Rome. So it goes, 1 coin equals return to Rome, 2 coins you'll fall in love, and 3 coins you'll get married. I don't know if it's true, but as you can see, people by the millions come every year to find out.